most people underestimate human tendencies in an investment market. There will always be excess ups and downs in the market because that's how an investment markets work with human beings involved. The window of opportunities exists in sudden movements of the market, whether it's up or down. If you know the macro trend, that's the direction to enter. BTC broke bullish. Now that's from a bearish pattern. This will feed on this like a flywheel until the confidence of early investors of this market cycle starts to melt. And when that melts, the price will correct itself. But in a bull market, you always have to learn a lot of stuff because the trend and patterns will make you chase the price. So your psychology is controlled by the price, not the investment wisdom. When XRP price crashed back in March 2020, many moved to other assets. And that's happening right now too, right? They could not see red figures. Firstly, when you actually talk about that, I would like to highlight red color is like an alarm and the green is a go ahead symbol. And this alone, when combined with money, manipulates you as an investor. Think, in a traffic signal, you wait for green to go ahead. But in investments, it's actually the opposite. Learning how to catch a falling knife is the best thing you can ever learn in an investment market. Those who did that previously, when the price dipped 65% in March 2020, they saw a 550% rise in their portfolio, and that was the green days for them. Why? Because they had the patience and perseverance to go into this market and purchase that asset when the price was dropping. Now, we have a 75% drop in price inside a bull market cycle. And investors are scared and the panic selling is there. They are out of the market. They're jumping in to different assets which are moving to the upside. That's normal. That's how humans work. The same guys saw buying opportunity here in a bear market when we pumped 180%. And what happened? Eventually, they all lost. Why? Because the macro trend was bearish. We went 140,000% up and it was time for correction. Now, what should you know to make profit if your XRP position is in red right now? Listen carefully, because these will be most important stuff you learn as an investor, widening your investment wisdom. Thus, listen carefully and write down important points so that it lives inside your investment mind during this bull market. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Positive news is coming in the market when there is a lot of negativity for XRP. But those who look at the macro perspective always understand that things are rolling out and it's coming. But yes, I agree it's slow and right now we have a lot of negativity. And we had a little bit of positivity here back in that market cycle as I highlighted, but it was followed by a huge negative run. Why? Because you ultimately need to know the direction of the market. Otherwise, your portfolio will be wiped out. On the fundamental side, you can see a lot of things happening. They are running behind the privacy coins. Now, when you look at these news and the fundamentals of these assets for next 3 years, 5 years, you can easily understand what is coming. different news is showing you what kind of an impact this market cycle is going to have. Right here, you just saw about privacy coins, and here it's about USDT pairs, right? So all of this is happening right now. So think, what are the regulators, central governments thinking and working together? Because this is all happening at a time when you are watching this. A new payment system for the BRICS nations. Now previously, yesterday's video, we just highlighted about Japan, Singapore, Europe are working for the payment network. So currently you have a dollar system, which, dollar is the reserve currency, so you follow dollar. But now different groups of nations are coming together to put their own payment system. So the macro perspective of an asset standing as a bridge for all these fiat currencies is actually huge. When you go and look at the return rates for XRP, it's not that huge, right? In 30 days, it's negative 64. That's a buying opportunity if you look at an asset which has huge fundamentals. Now let's explain all of these, which I gave you a short idea about, right? And why it's important for XRP holders to understand this at this point in time, right? Because this shows a lot of information. This gives you the idea of what we are going to do, right? But before that, you need to get this perspective in your mind so that you can think and digest it easily. So let's continue. Here, after that bull market, we were correcting. The trend was downside. We broke that trend. We moved a little bit up. But this particular support here acted as a resistance. Then that became the accumulation zone for Ethereum. Now, why am I highlighting Ethereum? I showed you guys Ethereum has a lot of similarities in the market cycle, because similar to that of XRP, there is a lot of investors involved in XRP trading and Ethereum trading. So those shows the market scenarios. If there is an asset where only thousands of people trades, it will have a little bit difference from this. But considering the volume and the number of individuals involved, these kind of correlates a lot. So stay focused here. After that, we consolidated here. So that became a huge opportunity for those who understand the market. Those who were saying, no, it's red, we don't want to go in, they missed. But those who understood how to catch a falling knife took that opportunity. Here you can see we dropped like 60%, boom. And then we went back slowly up. So that was an opportunity. Then again here, we went back 64% down. Boom. So the first one and the second one, when you compare, the second one is even larger than the first one. And the panic selling is so extreme, right? But it starts to move up. The markup phase starts after the second drop. So that's for Ethereum when you look at that. And then you look at the entire market moving with like this. You can expect BTC go up. It broke above this. It actually broke above that bearish pattern. And it should come back, retest this level and then bounce up. But always understand the macro perspective for that particular asset is getting overpriced. That doesn't mean it's going to go down or slow down tomorrow. Because an asset which is overpriced can again get overpriced, meaning now it's 30,000. If it moves to 50,000, it's still overpriced, right? But the market will feed on itself. When you see returns going over there, when you go in and look at these and see, okay, that asset is pumping like crazy, I want to get in. I want those returns. So you jump from an asset which is in red right now, and then you enter into an asset which is in green. So this is green 60, that's positive 60% gain there. And here it's negative 60. So chances are majority are jumping the ship right now. Those who know the market and how to trade this market will try to grab their portfolio and expand it. XRP did 65% downside here. So when you go back and compare it with Ethereum, the first drop was like 60%, the next one was like 65%. Then you come back here, you look at XRP, you see the first one was 65% drop. So it's even more than the second drop of Ether. Okay, what happened afterwards? We moved up, we gained 550%. That's not actually a small deal, right? We went down, but we eventually went up. And while going up, you can see the midpoint of this 550% is around an area where you have a lot of resistance. So that means that's a 50% of chance from there. You got that. You achieved that one and then corrected back. So right now, we moved 75% to the downside. Keep this in mind. The last one was 65%. Then we went up 550%. Right now, you have 75% drop. So what do you expect? Now, yes, I know. Many will say, no, this is different. SEC came up with something. This is all happening only because of that. But guys, remember one thing. In a market cycle, if you drop previously 65% without any news, this happens again and again. It's a rinse and repeat stuff. Say you got this bearish trend here, then why did you actually bounce 180%? What actually changed there? Nothing. It's how the market works. And if you understand that, you also understand these. Those who entered there got wiped out, and those who see this right now has a lot of opportunity. We had this rounded bottom pattern running, which we discussed over and over again when we were inside that pattern, that we are going to burst to the upside, and we did. Those who were listening to Scientific Investor back then know what really happened. Now, right now, if you look at that pattern and look at this excess of tendencies to the downside, here it's minus 26%. That means from that support level, we broke below and we kind of stayed there for 20 days. Below that support trend line, but within this green buying zone of the entire market cycle. We broke above, we made that as a support, then we went above. Now, the market cycle reversed, we came back, we swiftly entered that area. Now, swiftly in the sense, this is like a 3-year pattern and we spent only 20 days there. So that is a swift move there. But if you look at this particular area, in this 3-year time frame, you spend a lot of time there, right? From 2019, mid-2019 towards the end of 2020 and early 2021, we are in that range. So the huge buying opportunity was here in this green area. Then the second one is here. Now we are there. So what's different? It's 31% down from this trend line. So if you consider this as an opportunity which we broke above, we came below, the next one should be how much? You can extrapolate based on time, trend and pattern. Still you will see amazing gains. If you haven't watched that in yesterday's video, you can go back and look at it. That's what we are expecting for XRP in medium term. Now, are you here just for the medium term gains or something huge which XRP does in a market cycle like this? It actually created huge vacuum there, and a lot of people just went out of the market because it was consolidating for a long time. But the perseverance level was high for those who achieved this profit. Now, when you see this, it's easy to get that. Wow, that was cool. If I was there in the market, I had that profit for sure. But think, are you here right now? Are you looking at the market right now? Are you invested in this asset? And you're in red. Does that mean you're going to go bankrupt? Does that mean you are going to miss this opportunity? Or does that actually mean you are going to look at this asset, learn more, and understand about investment strategies? Because that is how you improve yourself as an investor. When you see support zone like this and the price breaking below that, you have to look at this asset and how this particular asset behaves with support resistance zone. That gives you an indication of what you can actually expect from this asset. Now, no one actually knows what's going to happen tomorrow or next month. But what we are trying to look at here is the likely outcome, the most possible outcome. These are all based on probabilities. It can be 70 to 80% and still that gives you an edge in your portfolio. Considering others who just look at this and say, okay, the price just dropped 75%, I am out of this asset. They kind of miss the fundamentals as well as the technical side of this one. Yes, I do agree. When you go look at CoinMarketCap, CoinPaprika, whichever site you use, you see a lot of different coins pumping. You see a lot of different assets going up. Now, those who are in my Patreon groups, Telegram groups, they understand we do give callouts for other assets as well before the recent pump happening in all of the different assets. And for some, this market cycle is being different. Like last time, majority of assets were going up together. This time, say for example, one is going up, another one is correcting. When one reaches the support and start to bounce, the other one is kind of stagnating and then correcting. So this kind of creates a confusion. But if you know what's happening for that concerned asset, you have the edge. We give that shout out, we give that clarity for patterns, trend, and time frames, what we are looking at. Now, time frames are mostly 60% probability, not that 70 to 80, but the patterns and trends gives you that 70 to 80% probability. Now, if you're going to come into that pattern, you have to understand that I don't do daily giveaways like that. Most of this are medium-term trades, limiting your risk, trying to increase your knowledge and profits. So, for those guys who care about their portfolio and increasing it with limited risk, you can look at the Patreon group. Link is in the description actually. Now, what we are talking about is increasing your portfolio and your capital towards this market cycle. You may have 12 to 15 months of upfront, and during this time frame, if you have the right guidance, you can reach this. Say for DOT, before this initial correction happened, this 70% pump, we got it, right? So similarly, other assets like ZIL and all, we got that 200-250% run based on pattern and trend analysis. If you have similar assets in your portfolio and want to know information like this, and you want to educate yourself, talk to SI, then you can discuss your portfolio with SI and detail your portfolio, refine your portfolio to adjust in this market cycle's direction. To do that, you can look at the Patreon. Link is given in the description. I will meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.